Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aisha and you're watching Samaa News. Here are today's headlines. Fresh diplomatic efforts are underway as the United States and Iran prepare for another round of high-stakes talks before the current ceasefire expires, with Islamabad emerging again as a likely venue. Another round of direct talks between the United States and Iran is expected before the two-week ceasefire announced on April 7th expires next week. According to multiple US media reports, both Tehran and Washington have agreed in principle to resume negotiations. However, alternative venues like Geneva, Istanbul, Turkey, and Egypt are also under consideration. US President Donald Trump has indicated willingness to continue negotiations, saying Iran had reached out and expressed eagerness to strike a deal. US Vice President J.D. Vance has said the United States has made significant progress in recent talks with Iran, but the next move now rests with Tehran. Speaking on Fox News' special report with Brett Baer, Vance said negotiations with Iran had made a lot of progress. However, he stressed that despite positive signals, Iran did not move far enough toward agreement during discussions. He made it clear that any further diplomatic steps depend on Iran's response. According to him, the ball is in Iran's court regarding the future of negotiations. China has said that a US blockade around Iranian ports was dangerous and irresponsible after US President Donald Trump threatened to sink any boats that sought to leave or dock there. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman Guo Jiakun told a news conference that the US increased military deployments and took a targeted blockade action, which will only exacerbate tensions and undermine the already fragile ceasefire agreement and further jeopardize safety of passage through the strait. Furthermore, he said that China would impose countermeasures after US President Donald Trump threatened new tariffs on its goods entering the United States if Beijing provided military assistance to Iran during the war. Chinese President Xi Jinping has called for a more robust and dynamic partnership between China and the Arab world. Speaking during a meeting in Beijing, Xi emphasized that the world is undergoing unprecedented changes, requiring stronger international cooperation and unity. He highlighted that humanity is currently facing critical choices between peace and war, and between unity and confrontation. He stressed that closer China-Arab relations are essential to navigating global instability and promoting shared development. At least 6 Palestinians, including 2 children, have been killed in Israeli fire across the Gaza Strip. According to the latest information pouring in, a strike in Gaza City hit a police vehicle, killing 4 people, including a child, and wounding several bystanders. The occupation forces killed another man in northern Gaza, while a separate incident near Jabalia left a 3-year-old child dead. The violence adds pressure on a fragile ceasefire, with both Israel and Hamas continuing to trade blame for violations. The International Monetary Fund has warned that the Middle East war is raising global financial stability risks, driven by rising inflation and energy prices. In its semi-annual Global Financial Stability Report, the IMF says equity markets have fallen while bond yields have surged, with disruption in the Strait of Hormuz pushing oil prices higher. Urging policymakers to stay prepared for potential shocks, the fund warned that prolonged conflict could tighten funding conditions, strain private credit markets, and slow investment in artificial intelligence. On the other hand, Pakistan is exploring Eurobonds, sukuk, commercial borrowing, and support from friendly countries to replace a $3.5 billion facility from the United Arab Emirates and protect its foreign reserves. At the same time, Finance Minister Mohammad Aurangzeb says the country is staying committed to debt repayments, reform targets, and broader economic stability. Speaking in Washington on the sidelines of the IMF and World Bank meetings, Aurangzeb said all options are on the table when asked whether the government was in talks with Saudi Arabia for a loan that could replace the UAE facility. That's all for now. For more updates, visit www.samaa.tv. Thank you for watching Samaa News.